The footage playing shows real in-game movements and actions that seem easy enough to do, but what if I told you there are people out there who are just lazy, who want the path of least resistance, who make justifications like, if you can't beat 'em, join 'em, or I'm already good at the game, basically feeling entitled to cheat in a video game and ruin the experience of others and throw competitive integrity out the window, whether for potential financial gain or just to feel better about their miserable existence. Today I want to talk about scripts and macros, essentially shortcuts. These aren't as strong as software cheats such as wall hacks and aimbot, but they give a way bigger advantage than just a controller with buttons on the back. Imagine if you only had to focus on your aim in gunfights and not your recoil, not the speed of your trigger finger while using semi-auto weapons, and not even your movement in some cases. Having a keyboard or a controller with more buttons allows for more input combinations to be bound to either a single button press or a combination of multiple buttons pressed at once. Think of spamming your A and D keys to strafe really fast, for example, or left and right on your joystick. Maybe there's a gun that does a ton of damage, but it's a bit too unruly for you. You can set yourself up to have your fire button automatically set off a script that does the recoil control inputs without you touching the sticks and just pressing the fire button. All you have to do is record those inputs correctly and assign them to be used later. It's blatantly clear that these devices are in use in many different FPS games and gaming in general, due to the fact that they're selling over 3,000 units from one single seller on Amazon. I saw another seller who had over 1,000 sold in the past month, and then other cheating devices similar like Strike Pack, like Cronus, they're all selling 1,000 plus units a month, 3,000 plus units a month. They're out there. They're really out there. You can buy them at your local GameStop, Walmart, Target, whatever. They're easy to get your hands on. It's not like they're some contraband item. The worst part about it is without some type of advanced AI detection system to pick up on patterns, the guy's jump strafing with the perfect exact inputs multiple times a match. Like it's obvious no human can replicate the same action down to the same millisecond and everything like that. It's just not possible, no matter how good you are. There's going to be some variation. But then, from the cheating side, they can add some type of randomness to it, which is like another step above. The average person making a macro or making a script is not going to be able to add that random variable in there that throws off the cheat detection. The thing that makes these harder than actual software cheats to detect is because they're just essentially mimicking regular player input. The game just thinks your controller's pressing those buttons, or your mouse or your keyboard's doing those movements or those button presses. I was curious whether or not you could use macros to overcome the jump spam nerf that they did, where you basically get this crazy aim sway. Fortunately, it's randomly implemented. Good job on the devs by doing that. I had to test it out because it was an idea in my head that you could override it, but thank God they made this a random sway. Somebody told me I'm crazy because I said that I saw somebody in a match using obvious macros, obvious scripts. It was in a controller-only lobby, doing a little circle in the air, in the same direction, the same speed. It was too robotic for it to be, oh, he's just good. If he's just good, he's going to be varying his movements and stuff. He's not going to be spamming the same movement. That's like a fighting game where the person just spams and juggles you over and over, or just spams the same attack over and over. Eventually, if they come against the right opponent, they're going to get shit on. Bad news for the keyboard and mouse players. These devices can be used to spoof your mouse as being a controller, giving you aim assist on keyboard and mouse, which is just ridiculous. Like, if you can't aim for yourself, don't play FPS games. Some of the uses for this could be rapid fire, where you just get to hold down the trigger on a semi-auto weapon and it fires like it's automatic, or whatever the maximum fire rate of that gun is. They're usually capped. Another use could be auto drop shot. Another one could be auto hold your breath when you scope in. Another one could be for movement, like if you have like a complicated air strafe or something where you just want to be able to hit the jump button and your character strafes left and right, and all you have to worry about is focusing on your aim, basically. The biggest problem with this is it eliminates some of the human aspect. It takes away from the work that you have to actually do while playing the game. Removes some of the steps that other people that you're playing against are having to take to do the same action that you're doing. That's an unfair advantage. Fortunately, recently Warzone has actually made it so you're unable to use a cronus. I don't know how they've managed to detect it, but that's a big W. They also made it so you can't use WASD, which is a software that can be used for macros, as well as spoofing your keyboard and mouse to look like a controller input. I've really only seen one person that I was almost certain was using macros for their airstrafe. They essentially had an airstrafe that was so perfect, it was like they went into the edit of the script or the macro, and just like you saw me doing in this video, deleting the delays between the button presses so they're like perfect. I would imagine a macro or a cronus script such as this would be easier to detect than one with actual human-like inputs. But with that said, regardless of the delays between the inputs, if the delays are the same exact increments, meaning that the button presses have the same exact timings every single time that player's doing that particular move or whatever, machine learning can pick up on those type of patterns and detect it. Majority of players are using this type of thing probably for recoil control, then maybe for things like rapid fire, auto drop shot when they shoot, auto hold your breath when you scope in. I think things like cronus and those type of devices are going to be more common on console than they are on PC. There's always going to be some scumbags who want aim assist on keyboard and mouse, but majority of players are on controller. The majority of the casuals who are getting destroyed by people using cronus are on controller and on console. People are under the impression that you can't cheat on console. All you need is the device. I mean, you could probably go to the freaking library and program your cronus. I mean, you're going to want to have like a laptop next to your console so you can like fine tune it in the firing range or whatever. But people are using this way more than you think that they are. Like, imagine cheating and still losing. Imagine doing steroids and still having a shitty physique. There's always going to be people trying to cut corners and find success whichever way that they possibly can by any means necessary. These are essentially referred to as soft cheating, which is kind of comical. Cheating is cheating at the end of the day. There's no soft cheating. You're either cheating or you're not. I think in this day and age, it's starting to get to a point where people are almost desensitized to the cheating. And there's a lot of people almost trying to normalize it, whether it's reverse boosting in Call of Duty, whether it's two boxing, whether it's using a VPN to get easier lobbies. There's a massive crowd of kids on Call of Duty who think using an unlock tool for camos and for actual paid content like upcoming bundles that are not even released yet, that's not cheating in their eyes. A lot of them probably have an unlock tool that also came with aimbot and wall hacks as well, but claim that they're only using it for the camos. Somebody else spent like a full week of in-game time grinding for those camos and you just got them instantly like a little entitled brat. That's cheating in my opinion. Like, it's not hurting anybody else's experience, but you're taking away the prestige of that accomplishment from the other players who actually worked for it. Let me know if that's just some crazy far-fetched concept. I could ramble on and on about various cheats in video games, how there's a whole bunch of cheat providers out there with software, but honestly, I'm personally under the impression that cronus is probably way more common than the actual software cheats. Cheating in games is not only ruining the experience for other players, it's robbing yourself of the opportunity to improve. I hope you all have a great day and a great weekend, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Take it easy and hopefully I catch you on the next video. Like and subscribe.